a beret?
Almost did.
I've never known that to happen. Did you not put the double stick tape on it this morning?
All right, I accept your challenge.
This is one pretty sweet ride.
I pronounce this Heinemann Mountains.
Buster survived, and what that means as far as the myth is that it's plausible.
Decapitation hazard, everybody.
So what's the myth?
Well, this is one I wish we were taking on ourselves. But you guys are going to handle it. It is from sword fights in the movies. Every time there's a sword fight in the movie, I swear the hero ends up slicing the bad guy's sword in half with his sword.
So we're gonna get to cut swords in half.
We have to find out if that's possible.
Dude, that sounds dangerous.
And yet,
Fun.
Okay, so if we're gonna test this myth, obviously we're gonna have to get some swords.
and this is actually the first hurdle. I mean, any sword that was made for real fighting is an antique and pretty much priceless. So I don't know what to do about that.
Well, you know, I'm sure they have really high quality replicas that are made like the real thing. So why not get those? And they're going to be, you know, they won't be cheap, but they're not going to be like priceless.
This is a bimetal, hardened steel, katana, battle-ready sword. Now, these are the ones that we're going to be using for the actual cutting and target sword. These swords may look cool, but these are just stainless steel, softer metal swords. These are the ones we're going to use for velocity tests, or if we need a softer metal target, or Tori and Grant need to get out some of their pretend samurai battles.
All right, what's the whole myth is trying to cut a sword with another sword, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we just try to cut a sword with another sword?
Okay.
Wearing the latest season's chainmail, the guys clamp a sword and come out swinging. In the end, the target blade isn't cut in two, but it is damaged.
I gotta tell you, I'm really jealous about this. I heard you guys were whacking these things all over the parking lot yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't able to break it, though. I mean, I practically broke my hand.
Yeah, my hands are still stinging.
Well, look, it's time to get back to basics and make this thing swing as hard as possible. It's time to build a sword whacking robot, man. You know, guys, it occurs to me that you can't make this machine swing this thing just at the fastest speed possible. You want to fire it at your object with the same speed and the same power as, like, the best swordsman you could find. So you should bring a swordsman in and clock his swinging speed.
So that way we know it's humanly possible.
Precisely.
These guys are exponents of a samurai sword art called tamashigiri. They've brought along the real thing, antique Japanese swords, more at home in a museum than at MythBusters.
1300s, 1800s, 1600s.
And you brought these down here to show us.
Sure.
You're very brave to bring these on set. So what I want to get to is, because our fans nitpick. Now, we're doing all these tests with this sword. You, with confidence, could say that we could come to some conclusions by using these modern equivalents.
I have that same sword that I use for cutting all the time when I practice.
Perfect. Yes. That's what I want to hear.
Remember, Grant's robot will have to match these guys for sword speed. Using the high-speed camera, they time how long it takes for the blade to cut the straw mat target. The quickest time is 6 milliseconds to slice through 7 inches. That equates to a speed of 48 miles per hour. That's how fast Grant's robot arm will have to swing. Grant's building a mechanical rig that will wield a blade with the same speed and power as a trained swordsman.
Your cutting sword is going to go here horizontally. And we wind up the cable on this drum and hang a weight off of here on the other side of the pulley. When we release the weight, pulls down, pulling the cable off the drum and swinging the sword around, just like that.
Okay, velocity test in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that was a little
That wasn't
too
very
dangerous.
fast.
I'm
That's
gonna
only-
go stop it.
That was only 25 pounds.
Dropping more weight will make the sword swing faster.
In 3, 2, 1.
But not fast enough. Grant makes some modifications.
First of all, I'm going to get rid of the heavy drum because that's a lot of rotational inertia to overcome, and I think that's really killing our speed.
They replace the cable with a chain and the weights with a pneumatic actuator.
3, 2, 1. That looked like it worked.
I think that worked.
That was frightening.
Now that's more like it. On that swing, the robot matched our swordsman's 48 miles per hour. But speed's not the only concern. The robot has to have the same penetration power as a real swordsman. Faced with a block of ballistics gel, our guest opens up a 9-inch gash.
Yeah, that's a good deep cut there.
Can the robot do the same?
Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that!
I guess we could go on to the swords now.
It looks like the robot warrior's finally ready for battle.
It is awesome.
We're going to do a series of tests, starting with edge to flat.
First, they'll see what a real Japanese sword can do to its stainless steel counterpart. The swords are positioned so they connect at the correct point. A blade doesn't have the same cutting force along its entire length. Closer to the hilt, you have greater weight but less speed. At the tip, you have maximum speed but minimum weight. A third of the way down the blade is the percussion point, the perfect balance between weight and speed.
All right, so this is a battle-ready katana versus a stainless steel katana. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oh! I did not expect that at all.
The genuine blade made short work of the showpiece.
I love it when you don't expect the results.
It just nicked the tip, the very edge, it nicked it.
You know,
That's sick.
I think we all know what's next. Real sword, real sword?
Yeah.
I think so.
This will be a much sterner test. 2 genuine Japanese swords cast from toughened steel.
Okay.
Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Nicked it.
How about the target or the cutting blade?
The cutting blade, just the edge is chipped.
Doled the heck out of it.
But no cut.
This is a totally definitive test for the edge to flat. I mean, there's no questions in my mind about that. But I know our view.
The swords are repositioned.
You know, in real life, you'd never block it, an edge with your edge.
Right, because you don't want to ruin your sword.
You don't want to ruin your sword.
But here at MythBusters, we like ruining swords.
All day long.
Striking edge on edge means the maximum amount of force will be concentrated on the smallest possible surface area.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Did you see that spark?
Yes, I did.
What's this? Have we struck our second plausible movie myth? Well, no. The high speed shows the attack blade didn't cut through at the point of contact. Instead, the sword snapped further down towards the hilt.
So, for us to call this confirmed, it would have to cut through here.
Yeah, it'd have to be a straight cut,
And
right
that's-
where the hitting blade hit the target blade.
Yeah. Down here, that's just a stress fracture. So to test and edge to edge. In each case, it's busted.
We want to be really thorough with this myth. We don't want to just limit it to Eastern mythology. So we've collected a whole bunch of swords from, oh my God, this is heavy. We've gotten ourselves a Viking sword. We have a Scottish claymore, which I don't even think I can lift. And finally, we have a European rapier, which I think is my favorite because it's the only one I can lift.
Like the Japanese swords, these blades are modern replicas, crafted from high carbon steel. Round one. Let's see what would have happened had the Three Musketeers and some samurais crossed swords.
They're two different fighting styles. You have the Japanese sword, which was used for cutting. The European, the rapier, was used for stabbing.
The simulated samurai takes a swing.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah!
Oh.
Whoa.
Nice!
Okay.
I think we need to see the high speed.
Yeah.
Or was it?
It bent as if it were rubber, came back, and on the backlash, right here, went poof and snapped. At first, I was so impressed. I thought we might have had a slice, but comes down to it, we had another snap.
And that doesn't count. Next up, could Braveheart's blade sever a samurai's sword? The Scottish weapon is almost 4 times heavier than the target blade and twice as long.
Claymore is a really long blade, and it's got a lot of mass behind it that usually equals a lot of cutting force.
Claymore versus katana in 3, 2, 1. Oh! A little comeback.
double.
If anything was gonna do it, it would have been that. Well, in the Claymore versus the katana round, it definitely bent the hell out of the katana and knocked it over. It was very dramatic. Didn't break it, didn't snap it, didn't cut it.
There's just 1 round left.
Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Despite being twice as heavy, the Claymore seems to have come off second best.
The Claymore is definitely in worse shape than the Viking sword.
And look, the metal's pushed out of the way.
Yeah, and the whole sword is bent down.
So, how'd you guys go?
Well, our sword-swinging robot was able to match the speed and the cutting depth of a real swordsman.
What did you come up with?
So there's absolutely no way a sword can cut through another sword. We get to lay this one to rest. Busted.
So, awning fall, what's the myth?
You jump off the edge of a building, and you survive the fall because you are going through awnings before you hit the ground.
Oh, just like in Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that sounds dangerous. How are we going to test this one?
Well, like everything, we're going to test it in 2 parts. First comes testing the circumstances of the myth, which is to bolt some awnings to the side of a building and throw Buster through them and see how survivable it actually is. Then we're going to get some stuntmen to teach us how Hollywood would set up a stunt like that to do it safely.
Carrie, Tori, and Grant become location scouts. This deserted military base fulfills the basic requirements. It has a lot of flat roofs, a long way off the ground.
I don't think you want to fall from this distance.
While they're choosing the drop-off point, Adam and Jamie are fawning over an awning. Using stills from the Temple of Doom, the guys at Zebra Awnings have made a shade that matches the ones in the movie. Would it be enough to save you if you fell onto it?
Michael, what kind of fabric is this and how heavy is it?
100% acrylic fabric. It's about 9.75 ounce per square yard.
It's exactly the same material you find on any building or storefront. They take 6 awnings, 3 for Buster's fall and 3 for Adam to crash through a little later. Down at the base, Tori, Carrie, and Grant have chosen a suitably sheer drop and start drilling holes for the awning mounts. But it's tough going. This was a nuclear fallout shelter constructed during the darkest days of the Cold War. The walls are lined with steel reinforcing bars.
You know, there's always the
ability. You know, I thought we were gonna be able to drill through this cement a lot easier than this.
A full day and a half later,
Man, what a day.
It's a good one.
the result, 3 awnings, one above the other, just like in Temple of Doom.
Check the G's on his different parts of his body.
We're always trying to figure out what is the lethal limit. How much damage is a deadly amount of damage? And we've attached all sorts of different meters and devices to Buster and run into trouble with most of them, except for these things, these shock watch stickers.
Red measures a shock of 50 Gs, which is survivable. Orange is a bone-shattering 75 Gs. The green one on his head measures a shock of 100 Gs. That's lethal. If this one trips, Buster's a goner. Buster's harness is hooked up to a quick-release shackle, which is connected to the boom lift cage.
All right, 85% that Buster hits that top awning and lands somewhere about 20 feet out on the street. 4% chance that he goes through one awning and into the next. That's like a 1%. Negative 1% that he goes through 2 awnings and lands safely in the 3rd awning. 100% chance of Buster death.
Pins out!
All right, and you're going down in 3, 2, 1.
Is that his ass sticking through?
You'd think he might have earned himself a reprieve, but no. Sorry, Buster, you've got to finish your fall.
His ass fell off.
Is that all of the debris? Wait, here we got an arm here. Let's see. Oh, the orange shock watch is tripped. The red shock watch is tripped. So it's like 75 Gs in the chest.
Which means some broken ribs, but not necessarily death. What about the 100G shock sensor in his head? If that tripped, then it's bye-bye Buster.
Yes, that one was when it was in the head, and supposedly it takes 100 G's to break the neck.
Where? But all of the metering equipment we had on him says that he survived that fall.
What it tells me is that if you're gonna fall off a building, this is not a half bad way to do it. You know, I mean, I wouldn't recommend trying it, but if you gotta, I'd go this route.
How about that? It's totally survivable. I would not have called that.
That was amazing. I mean, in an emergency situation, if you have to get off the building, I would do it.
Yeah, hold on there, cowboy, because I'm going to do this. I've been dying to do this. We're bringing in the stuntman. They're going to show me how it's really done.
But before Adam could even put on a safety harness,
Hello?
there's a phone call.
Hello? I'll let them know. Hold on. Adam, you will not be doing the jump. Absolutely 100%. The insurance companies say that this is too hazardous a situation, and you're out. So Tori, looks like you're in.
No, I really, really wanted to do this jump. How often do you get to play with stuntmen on the side of a building? I'm bummed that I don't get to do it.
Like Buster, Tori will have 3 awnings between him and the ground. But in this case, each one will have had one important movie modification.
We've cut an X in the middle of each awning and then taped it back together. Hopefully the tape is strong enough to hold the awnings together, but weak enough to give way when Tori goes flying through it.
I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also really excited. But right now it's easy to say because we're still on the ground.
Right, his harness is on. The protective gear's in place.
All right, the wind's...
Tori rides the boom lift and is soon at the end of his tether.
Now that I'm up here, looking down, a little more nervous than before, but I don't know, I feel like I'm in good hands, so This should go pretty smooth.
It's nice that he has so much trust in these guys. They obviously know what they're doing.
On my call, on fire, on fire.
This is it.
Here we go, here we go.
It was the perfect stunt fall. The awnings split like paper, just as they did in Temple of Doom.
Did you even feel the awnings?
No, I just ripped right through
Really?
It looked
They just weren't even there?
incredible.
it. Was just like, it happens so fast. It's like you don't even, before you know it, you're already on the pad.
And our own Indiana Jones is on a bit of an adrenaline high.
All right, can we turn off the cameras and let me have a go?
Sorry, Adam. This time, the glory's all Tories.
Congratulations, that was amazing. You're a great stuntman.
Oh my God, that was so much fun. I hope we do more of these Hollywood myths.
What you got for us, Jamie?
Well, this is a classic myth, and it involves a guy that's trying to get through a door. The door's locked, so he pulls out a handgun and shoots the lock, and presto, he's inside.
So I guess we get a bunch of locks and some solid wood doors?
And then we get to open up the MythBuster arsenal.
Yeah, well, looks like you guys have it well in hand, so have fun with it, huh?
Grant's off to pick some locks. Well, choose some locks. You know what I mean. He puts the lock myth to the locksmith.
In action movies a lot, what shoot the lock and it goes boom and then they kick the door down. I mean, have you heard of this myth? Is this something that happens in the real world, or is this just in the movies?
The quality of the lock makes a big difference. The caliber makes a big difference. You shoot it with a 9mm, it's not going to have the effect of a 45. You shoot it with the 357, it's going to have a lot more impact. It's going to do more damage. A wood door actually might pop open.
Grant walks out with more locks than you'd find at a hairdresser's convention. Meanwhile, Tori's window shopping for doors.
Sounds solid, but look, it's got the handle in it already. We already have a lock in here. We're halfway there.
Back at HQ, Tori builds a mount for each door.
Anybody want to talk to me? I'll be in my office.
Add fits Grant's padlocks and deadbolts.
Call me paranoid. So all the doors are done. This one right here, it's a solid core wood door. We have 5 of these kind of cheaper deadbolt locks, and then we have a really nice, sturdy, heavy-duty deadbolt lock. We're gonna try to shoot those out. I have another solid wood door with cheaper hasps, cheaper locks. This is probably gonna be our best bet, is shooting these guys off. Be the easiest, my opinion.
Now, in the movies, they always blast locks from close range. Our gunslingers will have to do the same, but to guard against flying shrapnel, they'll have some protection.
What I have here is a piece of the bulletproof glass. I've cut a hole in it so we can stick the barrel through the hole, and then this will adjust up and down this track so we can raise it to each of our locks.
We'll be starting with the 9mm handgun, then moving up to a 357 Magnum, then a 12-gauge shotgun, and finally the big boy, the M1 Garand.
Take a deep breath, line up your sights.
Carrie pumps 3 rounds into the padlock. Anyone getting through that door?
All right, it's still working. You hit the bottom here, and it's ripped it a little bit, but the lock is still secure.
In fact, the key still works.
Standard lock has been shot 3 times in 3 different places, side on, front on, and on the corner. Still works perfectly. It doesn't open without the key.
9mm, no good.
The shooting shield is raised to the next lock. This time, Carrie will use the 357 Magnum.
357, 158 grain, flat tip.
In 3, 2,
1.
The lock is battered, but still won't budge. Next, a door studded with deadbolts. Can Carrie's handguns aim up this time?
9mm on deadbolt.
Still works.
So let's move on to the 357.
Once again, those point-blank pistols have come up empty.
I mean, it's definitely loosened up a lot. But the lock itself, it's still working.
It's time to bring out the big guns.
I would encourage you guys to get back a little bit, because this is where you're going to have bouncing bullets.
Bouncing Betty.
This time, Grant's our sharpshooter.
Okay, so this is 12 gauge slug, 1,600 feet per second. Everybody ready?
He takes aim at another standard padlock.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah!
Wow!
Got all of that one.
Yeah!
Deer slug, I like it. Still working.
There is
Shut
no.
up! Nice!
Deer slug.
Now the M1 Garand.
Okay, this is 30-06 high-power rifle round in 3, 2, 1.
Wow! Went right through the door jamb.
Wow!
Oh, yeah, I think that does it. What do you guys think?
No, I don't think we even have to check. I can pretty much tell that the lock's been blown apart.
Oh my
Okay.
God!
What about a deadbolt? Can it survive Grant's heavy artillery?
12 gauge shotgun slug into deadbolt in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah! Blew that thing through
It works!
the deer slug.
Yeah.
Seems to be the winner of the day.
That's the one.
And the M1 Garand?
In 3, 2, 1. I think that's how we do that, huh?
I would have to say that the M1 Garand works.
Talk about overkill. The rifles might have destroyed the locks, but pull the trigger from that distance without protection, and you'd be showered with shrapnel.
So what happened? Fill me in.
Handguns busted.
The shotgun and the M1 Garand, plausible.
You know, you really don't recommend this, right?
No, definitely not. There are many easier ways to get into a door, so don't do it.
Besides the fact that it's totally impractical and the ricochets could kill you or injure you.
Well, that's a good point.
Automobile ejection.
Now, if you take the top off, you'll find a little red button. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
No, why not?
Because you'll release this section of the roof and engage and fire the passenger ejector seat. Whoosh.
Ejector seat? You're joking.
I never joke about my work, 007.
Can't look like there's an ejection seat built into the seat. It's got to be totally concealed. Someone has to be willing to get into that car of their own free will and not have any suspicions they're going to end up face planted on the tarmac.
Well, first up, we need to get a car, and that sounds like something to get Jess onto.
Perfect.
It's got to be a car with the right flavor.
Like a spy-mobile.
That's it.
Exactly.
So Myth-turned-Jess follows a couple of leads to this Studebaker boneyard. If the Mythbusters can't have a Jaguar or an Aston Martin, this Avanti might be the next best thing. It has a similar height and roofline. Like any good agent, Jess takes down some vital stats and snaps a few pics for the guys in intelligence to pore over.
What's the plan?
Well, we got to build a big tank into the trunk, first off, and put a big dump valve on it so it can let go of all the air at once.
Adam's been studying Jess's photos of the Studebaker, and he's got car trouble.
Well, sports cars aren't working out too well for us. Almost by definition, they're streamlined and narrow in the roof area. The glass from the windows and the windshields goes over the top of the person's head, so it makes it difficult to shoot out through there.
we probably want to just throw out the whole idea of this sporty spy-mobile car and just go for anything that's got nice upright sides where that ejection seat will clear the roof.
You bet.
Okay, that means sleek and aerodynamic is out and boxy is in.
Yesterday, I went and looked at this car, and it looks like it might be something that we could use.
It's kind of boxy.
Yeah, it's pretty boxy. It looks like the best thing we're gonna find.
So, where do we see it?
Let's go outside. It's here right now.
Excellent.
It wouldn't be Austin Power's first choice, but Adam's impressed.
This is one of my all-time favorite cars.
Really?
Always loved this car. What do you, I mean, Jamie, I'm looking and I see, you know, there's the drive shaft ridge in the middle there, but I think that passenger seat could scooch over this way a little bit.
There's room in the trunk for the air tank. It's perfect.
Sorry. Can we get it, Jamie? Can we get it, please? Can we get it?
Well, sure.
Excellent. It's time to get started working on this thing.
We need to clear space between the trunk and the passenger compartment, the trunk being where the tank or the air supply is going to be for this device. And then we need to route tubing forward from that tank to the back and underside of the seat. And we also need to create a trap door in the top of the car.
Adam's in his element.
Check this out. This is engineering.
Cannon and the seat have been machined precise to 10,000ths of an inch.
Adam.
Oh. Wow. We done made our own pneumatic cylinder.
While Jamie builds the air cannon, Adam starts work on the ejector seat itself. Piloting his trusty sewing machine, he runs up a new seat covering, which will help hide the awful truth.
Well, it's a seat, and I don't see any excess hardware on it.
That's the key.
So
we are not upholsterers.
Maybe a little weird looking, but you know what it is, and I don't see any pistons.
Before long, the car's starting to resemble something from a Bond film. Adam takes the role of Q.
I'm pretty pleased with how simple this is. These are just plumbing pipes representing our main dump tank. That tank dumps through the back trunk, down through these pipes to these fast-acting, really large capacity valves, a pair of them that dump into this manifold through these upright pipes and into our chair. We're going to cut away part of the roof here, and that chair is going to clear this car really, really fast.
The rig should generate 2,600 pounds of lift. The passenger and seat together won't be more than 260 pounds. That's a lift ratio of 10 to 1. But that chair ain't going nowhere without a hole in the roof.
I now need to be able to put that panel I cut out back in so that one might be unsuspecting that it was ever there. That'll do.
To make sure the seat makes a smooth exit, the seat itself is installed, the cylinders sliding like a glove over the air cannon. A secret switch, cunningly disguised as a gear stick,
is the ignition switch. That's what launches it when you're sitting in the car. I'm ready to drive this thing out to the dirt lot and do a pressure test on it.
Let's do a little quick test, incremental test here first, just before we get out.
Just like 5-10 PSI and see what it...
With the rig capable of generating 130 PSI, 10 is nothing.
Okay, that's about 10 PSI.
Is that what the gauge says?
Yeah.
Cool. That was fast.
Jamie flips the switch.
Well.
Yeah!
10 PSI was enough for liftoff, resulting in one of those magical MythBuster moments.
I'm
gonna go lie down.
Well, the first run went well enough that I'm suspicious. It's a little too easy. I mean, it just kind of like went pop, like a little frog right out of the back of the car. That's what I wanted, but I guess the next test is what I'm really worried about, because that was the easy part. Once we start to put load on the front of this and it starts to torque over the whole thing, that's where this is all headed. And if that doesn't work, then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Next, a 70% scale test. They load 120 pounds on the seat.
Looks like it's topping out at about 90.
And charge the tank to 90 psi. This time, it might be a good idea to adjourn to the vacant lot next door.
3, 2, 1.
Dude!
Like clockwork.
That was fantastic.
Having 120 pounds on the seat didn't dampen the rig's lifting power.
It's almost like we knew what we were doing, isn't it?
And the load easily cleared the hole in the car without touching anything, without bumping or rubbing or bending or straining or snapping. It couldn't have gone better. It's totally time to take this full scale. I almost want to ride it.
There goes one happy Heineman.
Now, this is a top secret spy car, right? People shouldn't guess that they're sitting in an ejector seat. The rig's plumbing is easily disguised, but the seat itself might raise eyebrows, and everything else.
You're right. It is a little high, isn't it?
It's a tad high.
There's nothing that screams that the passenger seat is going to leave this vehicle. You might get into it and think, oh, Adam's weekend work on this car is a little bit substandard. But you wouldn't think, Adam's about to leave me on the side of the freeway.
Let's test that theory, shall we, Adam?
Bob is our regular tow truck operator. He's always helping us get vehicles out to locations where we do bad things to them. And right now, I think Jamie's going to try and get him to sit in our ejection seat and see if we can't determine that it's indetectable.
Take a seat, Bob.
It's an ejection seat.
Why would you say that?
Roof cut away from the top there. Give me a little hint.
Hey, Bob, see that little thing there? Now, push that button.
I think I'd rather not.
Oh, well, let's face it. If he's worked with the MythBusters before, he's gonna suspect something, isn't he? Out at the test track, they try again.
If you'll sit in the passenger seat, I want to show you a couple things about it.
Dawn tells one of Jamie's interns. Will she realize she's sitting in the hot seat?
So does nothing strike you as totally, like, bizarre about this car, or?
It looks like it kind of suits Dontel, actually.
It does.
Is it too small or something? I don't know.
No. We wanted to see if we could dress this car in such a way as a person would unsuspectingly sit in the seat and it wouldn't reek that the car was fitted with an ejection seat that you are currently sitting in.
Oh, yay. Oh, no.
Dontel suspected nothing, so that's even the score.
Right.
Anything stick out to you?
The gear shift is weird. What is that? What is that? What's this push button automatic?
John here smells a rat, but he hasn't picked it.
What was going here? What's this?
Well, that gets out of the way.
Oh! James Bond!
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Now, with Buster still in bits after the awning fall myth, they've called on one of his buddies to make a guest appearance. But there might be a small problem. Well, in fact, a large problem, actually.
What are we doing with the
Isn't going to work. Just as well he brought the whole family.
He's got a wife and he's got a kid. And, well, we're going to try them.
Adam manhandles Buster's buddy's better half into the car.
She's light.
Who said chivalry was dead?
There we go.
We are almost ready to go. We've got a dummy that fits in the passenger seat this time. We've taped the roof above her head. We've got the safety shield in. We've got the electric system working. All that's left is to charge the tank and wait for camera to tell us to roll. We are fully charged. It's 130 PSI. I'm gonna wait for your signal to go.
Okay.
Okay? Wow! How, that was awesome! That was an incredible noise. It took like, wow, that was... Woo! Oh, God, I really want to ride that thing. I mean, I just pulled the button and then I heard like this. I mean, it was like a full second after I pushed it.
The high-speed camera caught every frame of our passenger's airborne exit.
That might be my favorite high-speed shot we've ever done.
I think so. Well, it definitely worked. It's a little silly. I mean, there are probably simpler and more reliable ways of getting rid of somebody if you wanted to, but
I don't know. Well,
definitely nothing as classy as this.
not at all. This is plausible and a damn good day's work.
All right.
Earlier, the guy shot a few holes in the lock shooting myth. And since then, Tori's had a video night at his house and seen this. In the movie Underworld, Kate Beckinsale's vampy vampire is cornered by a pack of slavering werewolves. So she decides to shoot her way out, straight down. Tori's going to find out if shooting a hole in a floor is a viable means of escape.
Tori, I've been thinking about the ballistic breakout thing, and I don't think you can just stand on a floor and start shooting around yourself. There's too much of a risk from either ricochets or secondary ricochets from like nails and wood chips.
Not to mention that I might shoot my... You never know.
Do you have a plan?
Well, yeah, I was thinking maybe what we'll do, I'll build a target deck, and then just above that, I'll build another deck with a hole in it.
I think that's perfect.
This is the shooter's deck. I have a 1-inch slot that I will be able to stick the muzzle of the gun through and try to shoot a hole in the target deck. And then I'll come on this side.
In the movie, the floor looks to be tiled, so vinyl tiles are laid on the plywood half of the deck. Back out at the range, the target floor is set up, with the shooting platform positioned over the top. Tori will use a fully automatic MP5, which also fires 9mm bullets. He's never handled a weapon like this before.
Is the weapon on safe?
It is.
So Sergeant Alan Normandy gives Tori a thorough safety briefing.
Go ahead and now make the gun totally safe. Okay, let it hang.
Okay, let's say you're trying to escape someone. Would you ever think of shooting a circular hole in the ground and, you know, dropping through?
Well, if I was a cartoon character, I might try that. But in real life, no, I would imagine that would never work.
So it's as likely as crime fighting in stilettos.
No, but they look cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They look cool. If you're ever going to bust that mess, give me a call.
Okay, ready?
We've got a floor, sandbags that weigh the same as a person, a shooting platform, and a MythBuster with an itchy trigger finger.
So now Tori gets to live out his Counter-Strike fantasy.
Yeah!
Oh, now?
He empties one clip, then another.
He's a lot better at this online.
It's never like the movies.
No.
Ever.
That's 40 rounds, but the floor is still intact. The bullets stitch a circle in the timber, but it looks like he might have done too good a job building the floor. The support beams are getting in the way.
I guess it's the shotgun.
You're gonna help?
Yep.
And soon it's a tag team floor show. After half an hour, Tori runs out of ammo.
All right, dude, that's 360 rounds, plus your help with the shotguns.
The careful observer will note that the sandbags are still there.
You're almost there.
Tori resorts to trampling the timber. He finally makes it through the plywood.
I'd halfway escaped.
Let's just face it, this is totally busted. This is completely impractical.
Yeah,
It took way too long. It took way too much ammunition. It's not remotely like the movies.
The way you would see it in Hollywood, where someone just shoots right through the floor.
Not gonna happen.
It's
never gonna happen.
This one's busted.
It's busted.
But man, it sure was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice circle.
You're the hero of the movie. The cops are chasing you. The bad guys are chasing you. You've got to get to safety. You hit some big dirt mound and fly your car to safety, landing far away from the bad guys, driving away to safety.
I sense more car destruction in our future. How are we going to do this?
Well, it's a classic movie jump myth. I think it's just another case of making a really big remote control car toy and sending it on a really big jump.
Well, isn't it going to be a little more complicated than that? I mean, we have to actually match something like the Dukes of Hazzard, right?
Sure. I will take a look at the movie and calculate exactly how far the General Lee is supposed to have traveled in the scene we want to replicate, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, I'll start in on the car. I think this is number 5 for me with the radio control.
But this RC setup will be his most complex. The car will have to hit a ramp at high speed, so Jamie will need to control acceleration and steering.
I've gotten radio controls on the throttle.
I never get tired of that part.
I've got it on the shifter. I've got it on the brakes, and the tricky one is I've got it on steering.
And if he hopes to hit a ramp at top speed, the steering will be crucial.
When it comes down to the moment of truth, this control right here is where it's at. If I don't have this totally buttoned down, this car is going to get airborne someplace that I don't want it to be.
Hey, man. Yeah, listen, I did the calculations from what I saw in the film, and it looks like the General Lee is flying about 175 feet. And by my calculations, that means it should be hitting a 30-degree ramp at about 70 miles per hour.
Okay.
Can your RC car go that fast?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll see you in the next scene.
And that scene is the track, where Jamie and Adam plan to make this jump.
So you got some dirt for us.
You want to follow us in the pickup truck? We're going to take you down to the end of the runway. We're going to lay it pretty much right in the middle. That looks like a big pile of dirt to me.
Turning a mound of dirt into a ramp isn't as easy as it sounds. If the earth isn't compacted, the car will just plow through it. Jamie has a plan.
The way that we used to do it on building sites is about a foot at a time and then flatten it out.
Jamie lays down one layer at a time for Adam to roll. Gradually, the ramp rises to the required 30-degree angle. Remember, Jamie's RC car has to hit the ramp at top speed. There's no margin for error, so they'll need to make the target a little bigger.
What we're doing here is making the hump a little larger, a little wider, because when that car gets going 90 miles an hour, you know, I don't really know how dead center I'm going to be able to get it on this thing. The hump, as it was, is just perfect. We want a little additional insurance, because what we don't want to have the other just a few inches. Nothing like a good hump, is what I always say. We've got a nice hump over here. We're gonna jump the hump.
Well, I'd call that mountain finished. It's as close to 30 degrees as we're gonna get. It's nice and solid. The only question is, can Jamie hit it with an RC car at 70 miles per hour?
Jamie runs a complete check of the car's remote control system. When the time comes, it'll have to work without a glitch.
What I'm looking for is smoothness in control, in particular on the steering. These older cars tend to float a lot. They're kind of boats, and that's always been a problem for me because I need to get it really tracking straight.
To help him achieve that, there's an added feature, never before seen on a Heinemann RC Special.
We're gonna call this the Jamie Cam. We have the actual camera lens out here. We have the transmitter inside the car, and then we have this monitor, which I'll be able to look at, as well as look at the car, you know, through the windshield of the chase vehicle as I'm going along. It's time to take this puppy for a test drive. Remember, if the car gets out of control, don't try to outrun it, go at right angles. That's, nature knows that that's the best way of getting out of the way of a thing that's faster than you are.
Slowly, the world's biggest toy car takes to the road.
I never get tired of watching one of those things go.
And almost immediately, it veers off it again.
Uh-oh.
Turn it off.
Whoops, there we go again. I haven't set the fail-safe yet.
You haven't?
Nope.
We better call the fence company again.
I don't know why the brakes didn't come on.
Fail-safe is exactly what the term implies, that any failure mode is a safe failure mode, i.e., if we lose the ability to control the car with the radio, that its default will be to put its brakes on. And apparently in this test, Jamie hadn't yet set the fail-safe, so he's doing that right now.
I should be able to turn off the radio.
And the brake will activate.
And the brake will go on.
All right. There it goes.
And there it is.
Good.
All right.
Excellent.
The guys do a test run at 50 miles per hour, with Jamie trying to steer the car from the chase vehicle.
It went to fail-safe. Interesting.
Well, I probably got too far away.
Yeah.
It's much easier for me to judge its speed if I'm off to the side a little bit.
Okay.
And staying with it.
All right.
Jamie has to maintain control of the car.
Oh, there it is.
Adam has to make sure he keeps Jamie's transmitter in range.
You're not keeping me where I want to be.
Sorry.
They do several laps of the runway, trying to master the choreography.
15 miles an hour.
The only thing that I could use some help with is I'm just focusing on that line, and like I have no idea that I'm about to the end of the runway.
Okay, I will keep you posted on that. So you think we're ready to do it for real?
Ready as I'll ever be.
The worst case scenario is that the car hits this bump off to the side and just rolls. In that case, I don't think we'll be getting... I don't know what the hell we do then.
Just as they're about to launch, there's a problem. The car has a flat.
Well, it goes like this. If you're doing something and there's no problems the whole way through, there's bound to be some major screw-up at the very end. But if you encounter a series of small problems along the way, Murphy's Law dictates that that will take care of the problem gods, and you won't have a major disaster along the way. So hopefully this is one of those nice small problems it's easy to deal with.
Let's do that. Let's
Except that the jack doesn't work.
We're just going to bring over the tractor, lift the car with the tractor. As long as we got one, it's a cheap car jack.
Good. There's no spare, so Adam has to seal the leak. All they can do now is hope the tire will survive until the car mounts that ramp.
You ready, Jamie?
And gear.
Go.
Jamie's got white line fever.
Keep my eye level on that line.
The car hits 65 miles per hour, the chase vehicle in hot pursuit. With the ramp looming, the car suddenly starts swerving back and forth. Jamie struggles to regain control.
You can totally do it.
At the last second, he threads the needle. And another MythBusters experiment ends with the reassuring sound of rending metal.
Oh my Lord. That was so close to an abort.
I was watching you like go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then like, God, maybe like 4 seconds before you hit the ramp, you just hit it perfectly, perfectly center.
Abort, but it, I just kind of like, I saw it kind of hit a sweet spot right before the ramp, and I just kind of didn't do a whole lot, just the lightest touch, and it made it and went right down the slot.
Shall we measure out how far it went?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear where it landed.
Where do you think, Sherlock?
Look at the dirt trail that it spread the whole way.
Remember, Adam calculated the length of the jump to be around 175 feet.
All right, it left from right here.
What did we get?
You're not gonna believe it.
150?
172.
No!
Yeah, we came within 3 feet of our target distance, baby.
We're not gonna get any closer than that.
And the myth? Well, like the car, it's a write-off.
Yes, they could have flown 175 feet on a mound of dirt. I think we've definitively proved that that part of this myth is plausible. That you could drive away from an impact like this? Well, I definitely don't think you could drive away.
That anyone is remotely driving away in this thing. It's busted.
Yep.
The car's busted, the myth is busted.
That's true. It's very hard on a car if you do that.
Well, there's your problem. Look at that. Is there a more beautiful view than that? San Francisco in the distance, destroyed car that flew exactly how far we wanted to do in the foreground. Yep, good feel. Guys, that was great. I love doing this episode.
Well, let's recap. What did we get?
Well, awning fall is plausible.
Cutting a sword with a sword, totally busted.
Ejection seat was plausible.
Oh, and ballistics break-in, when you shoot through the floor, that was busted.
Shooting a lock was busted for handguns, but plausible for heavy artillery.
And jumping a gorge and driving away, completely busted.
You guys really know how to ruin a movie.
That's confirmed.